Good morning, my name is Majewski, and I'm very, very happy to have today the pleasure to see a company that is definitely in a different area versus ground vehicles. I have been following a lot of innovation that gradually or disruptively is impacting transport industry, more linked to the ground vehicles, but this time I want to know more about the aircraft industry. And there has been a lot of money right now recently pouring into the eVTOL, electric vertical takeoff and landing aircrafts. And I just wanted to know more about it. And I'm happy that I have been invited today to the company Zuri and that I have a conversation with the CEO Michal. Thanks a lot for having me here. It's exciting to be here again to see, this prototype that is really mind-blowing in terms of design. And this has been the latest development of the last 1 or 2 months. Let me ask you a personal question, because you are not having the background of the aircraft industry. So what was the triggering driving point to go into this venture?
So I'm a serial entrepreneur, founding companies since 1999. And the previous ones were usually in software technology. But we did a lot of traveling with my family. For example, a literal around the world trip. That was 10 years ago. And we encountered a lot of frustrations with current transportation. So the ground traffic is usually slow. When you want to fly, there's a lot of waiting at the airports, all the security checks, and getting to airport that you are limited by schedule and placement of the airports. So I thought it would be great to have basically an aircraft which can connect any 2 points.
Now, when we think about air transport, safety is probably the #1 driving aspect to make this safe. And for this, you will go through, a series of certifications, and that could be a bottleneck because there's a lot of tick-offs you need to do on the checklist. How confident are you that Zuri is going to be on time, not losing too much time in certification? What do you build around it to have this confidence right?
So there are different types and levels of certification.
Yeah.
What is usually being spoken about is the type certificate for the commercial passenger travel, and that's indeed quite a complex and financially intensive thing. But there are some smaller types of certification, for example, the specific category here in Europe, which is significantly easier to certify, for example, for an unmanned cargo vehicle. And also there are some different categories all around the world. For example, the US Mosaic category for this kind of 2-seater aircraft, which is also orders of magnitude easier to certify than the big commercial VTOL.
If in the last couple of months there has been a lot of talk around the dual-use strategy, giving also the different circumstances, increase of defense spending. I know the industry is right now considering in different industries, automotive for example, to look into using capacities to address dual-use strategy. To what extent has Zuri been looking into that? Do you consider this seriously? Do you follow this up? How do you position Zuri in this whole conversation?
Yeah, investors and the whole industry is pushing us more towards the dual-use application because everyone is seeing the NATO spending up to 5% of GDP on these kind of platforms. So there's a huge demand for it. We are now carefully analyzing it. Probably our first entry will be in the unmanned cargo for both civil and defense use. We have nothing to announce yet, but we are working on it quite intensively, and probably you will see some development in that area soon.
No, it's very good. It's exciting that you see also kind of a diversification of different use cases that you're going to leverage and make use. So The recent investments, when you look back in the couple of years, most of it in the aircraft industry goes to eVTOL, the electric vertical takeoff and landing, and almost $500 million that goes into that. We have different players in the US and in Europe. In your opinion, what is the relevancy of eVTOL in general in the aircraft industry in the coming years? Is it going to be more niche, or do you see this really going in a bigger use case and therefore in a higher penetration, and maybe also in what speed it will go into it?
So VTOLs such as Zuri can fill an important role in transportation today to quickly transport you hundreds of kilometers from any point A to B without the need of airport at each of the destination. So something that is not possible today. Like ground transport is quite slow, helicopters are immensely expensive and partially unreliable. So having this aircraft with distributed electric propulsion and hybrid powertrain will be a real game changer.
When I walked in, I noticed two exciting demonstrators. And so this one is a bit older. This one is the latest demonstrator. So what is special about this setup?
So the first generation demonstrator already flew like 5 years ago. That was the large-scale 11-meter wingspan aircraft focused on the vertical takeoff and landing. And now we are building this second generation demonstrator, which will do the same thing as the first one, but a lot more. The new things are the tiltrotors. So all the 8 rotors can change the position between vertical and horizontal. And also for the first time, we will have a hybrid powertrain inside.
So thank you for having me here. It was really exciting to have this exchange. It is absolutely mind-blowing to see this prototype. And wishing you a lot of progress, success to the whole team. That with that, you will convince more investors and also other audiences. So again, thanks a lot.
Awesome, Daniel. It is always a pleasure to have you here in Zurich.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All the best.